Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skills, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator to see who's the better one when head-on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. Standing on the left corner, a divine dragon child from the hidden village of Arcadia. Childish and naive despite being few centuries old. The divine dragon, Faye! And standing on the right corner, the shy and humble girl from Sacred Stones, oddly attached to the Prince of Renice, the great dragon, Myrrh! Before you start commenting they are too young to be considered as waifu, let me assure you, both of them are hundreds if not 1,000 years old despite looking like a child. Hence, there won't be any legal issues. And here we go, Divine vs Great. Lolly vs Lolly. A battle to decide who is the best green dragon waifu. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, Stats and Skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Faye has a BST of 162 and Myrrh's BST is 165. Myrrh takes the first point. What about their rating after weapon and skills? Faye's total rating is 175 and Myrrh's rating is 198. Myrrh scores again, 0-2. Next is their hit points. Faye has 46 HP and Myrrh has 42. Faye scores her first point. The score is now 1-2. Let's look at their base attack now. Faye's attack is 33 and Myrrh is also 33. It's a draw. What about their speed? Who is the faster unit among the two? Faye has a speed of 28 and Myrrh has 25. Faye equalizes the score. Now, let's look at the defense. Faye has 25 points in defense and Myrrh has 36. The Great Dragon leads again. Last, their resistance to magic damage. Faye has a resistance of 30 and Myrrh has 31. One more point to Myrrh. After looking at their stats, Myrrh is currently leading by 2 points, but Faye could still pounce back if she wins from here on. First, let's look at their weapon. Faye uses the Light Breath, which has a might of 13 and grants adjacent allies a defense and resistance +4 through their next action after any combat she initiates. After Refinery, it grants her and allies within 2 spaces a +5 attack, speed, defense and resistance until the end of turn after combat if she attacks. And if foe's range is 2, damage will be calculated using the lower of foe's defense or resistance. Not only that, it further boosts her HP and the stats of your choice after refined. As for Myrrh, she has Great Flame, a breath weapon with 16 might and grants her an additional 3 attack. And if her defense is 5 points more than foe, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Furthermore, if foe's range is 2, damage will be calculated using the lower of foe's defense or resistance. Unlike Faye's Light Breath, Great Flame could not be refined. So, who has the better weapon? It has to be Great Flame for its high attack and follow-up prevention. Hence, this point goes to Myrrh. Next, we won't be comparing their assist, special, passive in A and B since one of them doesn't have it. However, we will still introduce it nevertheless. Faye has Drawback, an assist that lets her move 1 space away from target ally who will then move to her former position. How about Myrrh? She has Bonfire as a special. It boosts her damage dealt by 50% of her defense with 3 charges. In passive A, Myrrh has Fury that grants her a +3 on attack, speed, defense and resistance. However, she receives 6 damage per combat. In passive B, Faye has Renewal that restores 10 HP at the start of every 2 turns. Last, let's compare their passive in C. Starting with Faye, she has Threaten Attack, a skill that inflicts a -5 attack penalty to foes within 2 spaces of her at the start of a turn. And Myrrh, she has Horn Dragon that grants adjacent dragon allies a +6 on attack and speed at the beginning of a turn. Debuff versus buff. Who will take the last point? It's kinda obvious, Horn Dragon is the better passive. So, the last point goes to Myrrh. And that's the end to round 1. With a score of 2 against 6, the winner of first round goes to Myrrh! Actually, I'm not really surprised with the result, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way too. Anyway, let's move on to round 2, Head-on Fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Andu Krandu. First, we are just going to let them brawl with their default skills and IV with no buff. Let's have a look at the result. It seems no one gets to 1 round KO their opponent. However, Myrrh has the slightest advantage in the following turn. But since we are only looking at 1 round of combat, it's a draw. How about we give them some skill inheritance? For your information, the build that will be shown might not be the best build for them, but it's optimized for higher kill counts. For Faye, Lightning Breath, Steady Breath, Quick Repose, Panic Ploy, Iceberg, and a Close Defense Seal. For Myrrh, Great Flame, Distant Counter, Quick Repose, Horn Dragon, Bonfire, and Eot's Shield. And the result? Faye gets to 1 round KO Myrrh when defending, but Myrrh couldn't. If you look carefully, Faye left with 4 HP during the duel. In other words, if Myrrh has an plus attack IV or an attack seal, she could also take Faye down during enemy phase. However, with numerous tests done with the simulator, I find that it takes a lot more tweaking to Myrrh for her to take down Faye. Hence, to make things interesting, the inheritance fight goes to the Divine Dragon, which means the winner of the second round is none other than Faye! Before we proceed to the final segment, let's look back at the results so far. Both Faye and Myrrh has a win in hand, and whoever wins the last round will be crowned the better wife among the two. Whose side are you on? Let's find out in round 3, Mass Battle. For this segment, we will be using the same damage calculator as round 2 to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Faye draws 85, loses 100, and wins 38. What about Myrrh? She draws 47, loses 53, and wins 123. As mentioned earlier, let's convert it to see their winning rate. And Myrrh has the higher rate with 65.7 compared to Faye with 36.1. Quite a huge gap it seems. The reason is because of Myrrh's Great Flame. Next, let's have a look at the result if enemy attack first. Faye draws 91, loses 75, and wins 57. On the other hand, Myrrh draws 58, loses 31, and wins 134. After conversion, Myrrh's winning rate is still higher than Faye with 73.1% against 46. So the default fight goes to Myrrh. Now let's move on to their most offensive build. Could Faye outperform Myrrh? Let's look at the result. Faye draws 10, loses 60, and wins 153. As for Myrrh, she draws 8, loses 43, and wins 173. Let's change it to percentage. Myrrh is still leading with 79.4%, which is 8.5% higher than Faye. What if they defend first? Would the result be the same? And Faye draws 3, loses 26, and wins 194. How about Myrrh? She draws 8, loses 20, and wins 195. And after conversion, it seems their winning rates are very close, only 1.5% apart, with Myrrh having the higher score. Therefore, by winning the default and skill inheritance mass battle fight, the last round goes to Myrrh. And ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of intensive battle, the winner of this episode, My Waifu or Husbando, is better than yours is... Myrrh! What a showdown! As many of you had predicted, the Great Dragon is the better waifu of the two. But kudos to Faye for putting up such a great fight till the end. She did better than I expected. And do take note that it's easier to wheel a Faye to +10 than Myrrh, as Faye is available in the 4-star and 5-star pool, unlike Myrrh, which is only available at 5-star. So, what's your thought on the result? Who do you think should have been the better waifu? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in the future episodes. By the way, in order to increase viewer engagement, I'm going to add a poll for you to decide the matchup. And the final result will be concluded 5 days after this video launch. And the winning matchup will be featured in an episode a week later. You see the small exclamation icon on the top right? Click on that and cast your votes. Here's the winning pair from last week's poll. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours.